Hey, welcome to the Ozzstar Cars channel. I'm Glen, and on today's fun project, we've got a Toyota 4Runner here behind us. Now, this is a 5th generation Toyota 4Runner. I did a previous video with a 3rd gen, and I got a lot of comments and questions on that video. I think it has over 160,000 views. And the tailgate tends to freeze or rust up on these where you can't get the hatch open. So what I want to do in this video here today is I'm not going to show you how to take the hatch apart. I'll leave a link. Where would it be for you guys? Like either top here, left or here, or right here. Also in the description, I will leave a link to that video so that if you are having this problem, you can hopefully fix it on your own. But anyway, what I want to talk about here today and take you in a little bit closer is the hatch will rust or lock up, and the actual mechanism down here, and we'll open that in just a second here. This piece right in here, I'm going to show you how to lubricate that. I show it in that video, but a lot of the issues were when people took that mechanism out, they unhooked it. Now it's a electronic lock, so you have a module back in your hatch back here which controls the, some have the power window, there's the rear defroster, you've got the rear wiper, and the actual lock. Now this one doesn't have the power lock feature where you bring your tailgate down and then it kind of sucks in and locks on its own, and you hit the button and it self-releases. This is more of a manual, but these latches still can freeze up. Now the number one thing is when you disconnect that module, the actual electronic harness, if you have that back there, what's going to happen a lot of the times is the power lock mechanism on those 3rd gens will not work. So you can still open it manually, but electronically it's not sucking in. And if you know what I'm talking about, when it comes down and you can hear that motor, it's like a servo, it just goes right in there, right? Well, you need to reset that module. And a module is just like a little brains, a little electronic computer that's in the hatch. And the best way to do that for anybody who doesn't have fancy scan tools, you know, like that you would work on cars with, is to just disconnect your battery. So you go up front, open the hood, disconnect the negative battery for 5 or 10 minutes, reconnect it, and what that should do is actually reset the module, so everything should work for you after that point. If not, you would need to check the powers and grounds and do some testing, find out, you know, is there a short, what have you, or maybe it's just a bad module. But let me take you in a little bit closer. I want to show you this latch while we're here. Enough rambling, let's see some action, right? So this is the latch here, and this is the culprit where water, let me show you here, water actually can get down, you know, between the window and the gasket. So this water travels behind the panel. This latch gets wet internally and rusts. Now, what you should do and be aware of is, let me back up a little bit. There's a weep hole right here. See this one here? And then on the passenger side, you have another weep hole. So it's really important to keep these weep holes clear. And you can do that by flushing them out or what have you. But that way, if any water, excess water gets in there, it's running out and not sitting up, rusting behind this latch. Now, in the other video, I show you how to take this cover off to get the latch out. It's pretty simple. It's just 3 bolts and some wires. This in here is a cover. This is your release. So now we're inside. Here's our pull latch. What you would do is pop this out, and I'll show you, all that is in the other video. You pop this out, and then there's a lever mechanism that you push down, I believe. Was it push down or pull up? And then you got to put a lot of pressure to get this out. Now, you got to take this whole panel off of here and to do all that, but it's not a big deal. It's in the other video. So today, let me show you what I use to prevent that from happening. The best, I think, is the lithium grease, and we're actually going to do this. I'll set up the tripod and just get this lubricated, because what's happening here over time, especially on your older 4Runners, the water, this grease is drying out. It's getting, you know, it doesn't, I don't want to say lubricate, but it doesn't prevent the moisture from rusting the steel. So it's a good idea to do the preventive maintenance. Let's get to that step next. If your latch or hatch latch is really rusty, I like using this product here. And I showed that before, the PB Blaster. it's a penetrant to help kind of get that rust broken up. You could also, after you're done, if you didn't want to, didn't want to use the white lithium grease, you could use fluid film is good too for coating that. Because when this plastic piece is off, you have really good access. So all you need to do is you shake this stuff up, and you want to, watch out because this white stuff can go all everywhere. But just gently, and I use the straw, as you can see. I've got a straw in here, and I just want to coat it. It's simple enough, and this will prevent a lot of those problems from even occurring. And then have a rag handy just to wipe up the excess. And then all you do is open and close this a few times. Let me zoom you out. And what I do is just to work the grease in. That's just basically grease. And if you have an electronic module, like I was saying, you would bring it to this point, and then you should hear the I don't know what you would call it, the latch just start making that electronic sound, and then push close, lock close. So do that a couple times, and now the grease has really worked its way in there. So I hope this video has been helpful to you if you're having this issue. Check out that other video. I will leave a link right up in here. You should see it pop up on your screen. If you don't, it will be in the description down below. I'll definitely make sure it's in there. But anyhow, the main reason I'm doing this video, like I said earlier, is just because I've gotten so many comments about, oh, I went ahead and did the repair, the latch was rusted shut, I can't get my hatch open. They finally do. They take things apart and then it's not working. Maybe the rear window is not going down. That's a power window back there. The wiper's there, and you also have the rear defroster. So after you take this thing apart, if you're having that issue, go ahead up front, disconnect your negative terminal on the battery up there. Now don't forget, you can lose your radio stations if you do that. So there are memory savers, but that's not really necessary. If it's somebody else's car, just let them know. Maybe they may have to find some new music to listen to. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. As you see my shirt right here, I got to go for a run. I'm thirsty. So appreciate you subscribing. Click the like button. Thank you to my neighbor, my friend Mark, who donated the 4Runner here today for us to check this out. So I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.